Hi, my name's Brian Toaz. I'm an applications engineer here with Bilz Vibration Technology, and today I'll be showing you how to unpackage and set up a vibration isolation table. So with each isolation table, you're going to receive two packages or two skids. The first one's going to be a skid like this. It's going to have the table frame on it. It's going to have the air springs and everything already mounted to it. Typically packaged with some cardboard around it. The second skid you will have will look like this, and this will be your granite top. Once you've unpackaged your isolation table, will also be included on the table frame a set of instructions and a set of 3 metal plates. We will get to these a little bit later. So next you will take the isolation table, lift it off the skid. Depending on the size of the table frame, you may need a forklift or some other lifting assistance. In this case, we're fortunate it's small and able to handle it. This table is a 2 foot by 2 foot table set up for working at sitting height. The next step would be to take your granite top and place that on top of the air springs. And again, in this case, it's a 2 foot by 2 foot granite, so this is only about 200 pounds. We're able to pick it up, just the two of us, but in other situations with larger tables, you will need some kind of lift assistance, forklift, some sort of rigging to lift the granite and place it on top of the isolation table frame. And also included with the granite will be a certification for the grade of the granite and its flatness. Once you place the granite on the air springs, you'll want to get it approximately centered on the air springs. Make sure all the gaps are even all the way around. And then the next step before we hook it up to air will be to level the granite to the frame. So there are some leveling feet on the bottom here, and they're all adjustable. You'll take a level and place it in the center of the granite here. And you want to make sure that you're only leveling one axis at a time. So you only want to level this way and then level this way. Don't try and do both axes at the same time. At the bottom of the leveling feet, there's a little jam nut here. You want to make sure that's loose. And then you will, there's 2 flats here. You'll adjust with your wrench. So in this case, this side is a little bit high, so we're gonna come down with it. You'll want to grab the 3 metal plates that we set aside before. In some cases, you will also have a purple, we call this pad A, but a foam purple pad between 2 metal plates. In the case of this table, we are not using these, but some of you may have this in exchange of a hard metal plate. So whether you're using the pad A or the hard metal plate, these are going to go into position underneath the level control valves. There's 3 of them on the table. These level control valves have a knurled adjustment ring here. You turn it counterclockwise to go up, clockwise to go down. When you receive the table, these will be set to a low setting below the air spring to prevent damage to the plunger. What you will do is, once the granite's in place, you'll put some epoxy on the back side of these metal plates. we're leaving them loose for the purpose of this video. You want to get it centered over the plunger of the control valve and just adjust this ring counterclockwise up. The control valve will raise its height, and you're going to continue to adjust it until you feel pressure from the spring here loosen off the fitting. So just right there, I came off the fitting, so the knurled ring is loose. And what you want to do once it's loose is just back it down so it's just touching the fittings. And that gives you a consistent start, a good starting point for leveling the granite, and it gives you the proper air gap that you're looking for between the body of the air spring and the bottom of the granite for floating. So I'll go ahead and install these other two metal plates. Again, you're centering it over the plunger of the air spring or of the level control valve, and you're adjusting counterclockwise up until the knurled ring is loose on the air fittings. And then you're just taking it back down so it touches the air fitting lightly and has a little bit of tension. Do that again with the third one. And remember, these should be epoxied into place. We're, again, leaving them loose for the purpose of this video, but when you are installing your table, you want to just use a two-part epoxy on the bottom side of the metal plate to hold it in place. So next, the table is ready to hook up to an air supply. The customer requested to be supplied with an air compressor. So we supplied them with a super silent air compressor. This is a compressor designed to be very quiet for noise sensitive environments like labs and clean rooms. This runs off a 110 power supply. And then if you were supplied with a air compressor, you also have this piece of 8mm tubing. If not, this is where you would connect your pressure regulator under here, your shop air. So we're just going to go ahead and plug this tubing into the air compressor. It's important, if you are using your own shop air, that you supply the table with clean and dry air. The table's designed to run at 6 bar or 4 to 6 bar range. 6 bar is about 87 psi. Now that the air compressor is hooked up and pressurized, you'll come under here. There's a pressure regulator mounted to the frame where you'll hook your air input up to. This will be shipped to you and with the pressure turned all the way down to 0 psi. What you'll want to do is crank this top adjustment knob until the pressure gauge on the regulator reaches about 6 bar. And as you crank the pressure up to 6 bar, your isolation table should begin to lift the granite and level itself out. So once your air isolation table is floating and you've checked each air spring to ensure that there's a gap all the way around, you can do a final level of the table and the air springs. So you get your level back out. Again, you just want to focus on one axis at a time. In this case, that's still pretty level in that axis. It's a little bit out there. So you can use the level control valves here to level the granite now. Again, turning clockwise to lower the valve and counterclockwise to raise the valve. In this case, we need to go down on this back side. So I'm just going to give it a quarter turn, and that brought it into level. And once your granite top is level and you're happy with where it's at, that completes your isolation table setup.